We're live on this Monday, January 10th, 2021. Yesterday, I had kind of a blast from the past, from my old Rocknet days. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffed, but I thought I'd be a little funny, but there were a few people that listened to the show that didn't think it was funny at all. And that is the thing with humor. Sometimes there are people that do not find what you say to be funny. And that's okay. I have preference when attempting to be funny that people laugh. But that's the thing with comedy is oftentimes people are not going to find what you say or do to be funny at all. I was on Facebook, and an acquaintance of mine in Republic of Liberty, Howard. I'm going to go back to the Facebook story, but I'll add this first. Sometimes people like you are incapable of humor. No, I'm not incapable of humor, but I know abuse when I see it in certain forms of abusive behavior. And you are a person that does abuse, or at least tries to abuse often, and does things to a degree that are rather manipulative and underhanded. It's unfortunate, Howard is an intelligent person, but he's not a pleasant or nice person. So his intelligence is here, but his vindictive and cruel behavior is like right up here, like way past that. He is very persistent and not the most objective or non-relenting person. He actually, in one of the discords that I was in, he mentioned how he called my Skype several times while I was doing a show and still thought that was kind of funny. And I actually ended up blocking him. Most of the time, I don't care what you say, but certain things are really controlling and very vindictive. Well, and now Howard is he's comparing me to the humor of I believe the lieutenant when he had to fill in for the Robin Williams character when he had to fill in and he wasn't funny at all. I guess he sees me as that way, and maybe he's absolutely correct, at least this time, and maybe that will always be the case. There are people on YouTube that I don't find funny. Even if I agree with them politically, I don't necessarily find them funny. It is harder for me to laugh nowadays than it used to be. I guess life has struck in such a blow. Although I do laugh hard sometimes. And often my laughter is on things that are rather inappropriate and not always in the best way. I mean, at least politically correct or anything like that. Political Woodstock is here, and it's good to have her here. Now, Howard says that your listeners may not be high in numbers, but the suicide prevention hotlines around the USA light up immediately. So basically, my show, Howard claims that my show basically, is a big suicide helper. That I'm kind of like that book, The Final Exit, where individuals will listen to my show and they'll get the bravery to actually end their lives, which is wonderful, Howard. And those humors I don't mind. It's again, I'll go into why, like I'm problematic with him. And he says, and that now he says that I have no humor, but you do recognize it. Well, that's an insult and a compliment, which is rare for Howard because he rarely compliments anything that I do, and that's never been a problem for me. Other things, this last show that me and him did was a problem. There's problematic parts to it that I just disagree with. You know what? Howard doesn't have to take, political Woodstock is being on my side says that Brian is funny, and to take that back, Howard. Oh, the compliment was to you. Well, that's well, there we go. Anyway, getting back to the Facebook post, the show's going to be rather shorter than usual. But getting back to the Facebook post, somebody had a post. She's an acquaintance. I met her one time, but we became Facebook friends because she's friends with a relative. But they put out a post out there that they had a dream of their deceased mother. And I guess that dream, they were aware that, I don't know what you call the dream, but they were aware that they were alive, and I guess she showed them things and this and that. What is this going on here? Oh, jeez Louise. I'm going to put my show on this page because I just want people to see it. There we go. Why not? But getting back to that, and that she showed her children. She, the mother saw her grandchildren and the like, and I think they might have had a conversation. I'm not sure on the whole thing, but every dream of my deceased parents, or at least most of my dreams, I think only one dream where I was aware that they were gone. Most of my dreams of my parents is me like not realizing that they are deceased, that they are still alive when I have my dreams of my deceased parents. And I wonder if that is usual. If it's more usual that parents, like when you lose your parents and you have dreams of them, when you dream, or because when I dream, I'm actually like in a younger, more adolescent state. It says the device is not connected. Connect the device, Joey. You need to connect your device, Joe. So I'm waiting for Joe to connect his device because I think he needs to come back in. It's like, there we go. He's add to stream. There we go.
So you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So we're doing the transparency and merit. We're 10 minutes in. And Brian, where are you at?
I am. I mentioned Rocknet. Rocknet came by, and a lot of people didn't think the show was very funny, and they might, the people, at least in our circles, didn't think the show was funny, with the exception of Angela. And Angela has done some of the most hysterical shows ever. But there are people in our circles that thought the show, wasn't funny at all. I don't know if they just dislike me or if the show was actually no good.
Maybe they don't know that Rocknet broadcasts live from a giant rock somewhere out there in Pacoima. I don't know. Let's see. I got over the Omicron, had 12 symptoms. I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the Omicron didn't get, I guess somebody survived it. They live on and they survive.
Brian is slightly funnier than a drunken Dunno armor.
Yeah, either way, I really don't, look, I don't care if you like me or don't like me. And there are people who've heard my podcast that don't want anything to do with me whatsoever. And they were tolerant for a while. And then all of a sudden, it's like they pulled the rug out and stopped being tolerant. And it's like they stopped being tolerant of my ideas and they just call them, racist or whatever. It's kind of weird,
They dealt with race. What else could they be called?
Well, I don't know.
I think people are more resigned to the idea that we all start at the same place. There is the element of racism out there, but I think it's gone. I think it's always had like this kind of, hey there, what's going on, everybody? I think that the racism thing, though, there's this whole idea of unity, equality, all these kind of catch phrases, and racism is just kind of like taking this like underground sort of tunnel.
It feels to me, a lot of this stuff feels very sanctimonious and very fake. And it's not real. It's not based on any form of reality. And it's hyperbolic and not good. I don't agree with it at all. And some of the emotion tied into it, I'm not a fan of. I mean, and look, people have said I get emotional too, and that is one of my weaknesses. I get emotional. I get upset. I get angry.
Scott's crying. Sorry, Scott.
Why is Scott crying?
I don't know.
He's got to take a shower.
I'm trying to keep up with the board, which is a good thing. No, I got to go out. He's not crying.
No.
All right, Scott.
Although Scott seems like a man that has very intense crying sessions.
He does. Try yell therapy. Shout therapy. Shout it out.
Maybe some boohoo therapy.
Boohoo. Your cadence is slower than a funeral dirge.
Drudge.
Doing okay? Are you talking about Brian?
He's talking about me. But you know, we've come across a lot of interesting characters through the years, and
Were always one of my favorites. So.
and here's High Reg Estates. What's that? Lactase?
Do you lactate?
What does lactate? It means, does it mean I get milk out of my breast region?
I think he's saying you're a little milky.
Someone that Mandy, who is not the biggest fan of me, asks if this show is over, which the misery is almost over. I'm gonna end the show fairly soon, probably in about 15 minutes. I'm going to end this show and end everybody's misery.
I hope so. I hope you do. I hope you just shut it down.
Yeah, maybe I'll just shut it down. And because everyone, a lot of people just seem to really dislike this show.
We are accepting nudies, so anybody has some nudes, send them in.
Wait, this is kind of new. I adore you. You have yet
useless.
You have yet to. You know what? When it comes to cleaning a place, Joe can vouch for that. You know, keeping a place neat and tidy, fucking useless.
Wow.
And of course, someone likes you better than me. But you know, I could say I don't care, but of course, but it doesn't. You know, it doesn't bother me like I used to. But she does adore me, so that's kind of nice. But she thinks I'm useless. I wonder how useless. How maybe my beliefs and philosophies are good for nothing. You're good for nothing.
Most of them are, yeah.
Your philosophies are, you know what? Hey, that's transparency and merit. I don't shy away, and I certainly want compliments, but I don't need them. You know, people can tell me I'm full of shit. I don't care.
Compliments, shut up.
What's that?
You get plenty of compliments.
I do, but I don't need them. I want them, but I don't need them.
Yeah, they help. I wonder if Brian pays JP to clean his apartment.
Maybe he does, and maybe he does.
You know what? I get over there and I tell Brian to get off his fat ass and start cleaning.
Yeah.
I have a long COVID symptom.
I think Howard himself is a long symptom. A long, drawn-out symptom. Is there any cure for Howard?
Maybe I'll start berating you until you start cleaning.
Yeah. You know, I am starting to do that, by the way.
Good.
My pipes, yeah, they need to be cleaned. There's some people that sometimes they get so mad, I just want to clean their clock.
There's some rust in those pipes.
Maybe. A good daily cleaning list for me. Thank you so much. Getting a good day, just even a little bit each day helps, you know? And then you're not overwhelmed.
Can we get crazy here today? Can we just get a little crazy?
How crazy do you want to get, Joey?
I just want to get crazy. I mean, this is, this show, how many episodes have we done? I'm going to look this up. And
look how nasty, man. Mandy says, start with cleaning your beehole. Shh, Mandy, such a dirty girl.
Brian did get his colon cleaned once. I drove you to the place. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they raped you, right?
Well, I wouldn't, I would just call it a cleanse.
Well, you paid for it.
Yeah, I paid for it, yes.
So you got a cleanse, and then I remember picking you up, and you had to get home because there was maybe some residual.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
But it's I'm just. This was pre-COVID, by the way, that I did that. Oh, they want a link to the collective, so they want to come on in.
I'll add a link. I got it here.
The show is going longer than I thought.
Good. You work out.
I think we both have sent a link. I've sent a link. If anyone wants to come on in, like Dennis or Mandy.
And I said inflation will affect us all. Mandy said not me, but fair enough. If you have a way of escaping inflation, go for it.
Yeah, let us all know.
Yeah, what's your trick? Probably just making a lot of money. Yeah, you could fly over it, I guess, but they're coming to have I had a colonoscopy? You know what? I had a colonoscopy about a week ago.
I'm gonna have to have one too. Dennis is also gonna have to have a colonoscopy.
Brian,
Mm-hmm.
that's no longer necessary. All I have to do now is poop on a Q-tip, and I send it in the mail, and then they say if I got colon cancer or not. I don't have to have no camera anymore.
What? Of course you need a camera. Shut up, Dennis.
No, man. No.
See your beard, man. That's what people come
Let's
here.
see your beard. Come on, Beardo.
Come on, Beardo.
No, man. I'm not dressed appropriately.
Tell us some good sex stories, or talk about racism. One or the other.
God, the show's really hit the drags.
Yeah, we
Sex
got
stories. Where do you want to start?
Now we have Mandy, MF Care.
Good job, Dennis. You're attracting the good people in. So.
Yeah.
Oh, please. I was going to come in long before Dennis decided to.
Oh, well. Oh, there we go.
We're going to talk about the colonoscopy there. Oh, look at Dennis. Nice couch bed.
It's good.
I'm liking it.
There.
It's Gandalf.
Yeah, it's all going to be gone.
Gandalf was on crack.
It's all it's all going to be gone in the spring. I'm cutting it off.
Dennis, you shaved though. It was much longer than that.
You know.
Well, yeah, I did shave a little bit.
Instead of searching, like the ring, it's the ring of crack.
Don't say that now. He was addicted to crack for like 5 years.
My mortal enemy, who's
true.
usually here to ruin my show, is Howard. Howard, you bastard! How the hell are you, you son of a bitch?
No, that's not Howard. That's fucking Dawning.
This is Howard. This is Howard. I know.
Oh, is it Howard?
Unless he's
Can you put this show back on track?
Howard.
Please give this show a topic.
We have a
Howard.
What is your topic, JP?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, JP.
Who booted you, man?
It's been a while since I've seen you.
Wait a minute. Howard has something to say. Do you apologize for your behavior with me?
Who booted Mandy?
Who booted Mandy?
JP booted Mandy in her butt the other week.
Where do you get this stuff? What do you
Wow.
booted Mandy?
From what? What was I booted from?
No, you were booted. No, he booted your ass. Like
Oh,
in a
right.
physical manner. It wasn't like brutal or anything. It was like a love tap. Boom.
June's jealous.
It was medicinal.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We kind of like, I don't know. Like he ran into my bumper and it was like, hey, I was at a stoplight.
Rear ending.
Booted her booty. Booted her booty.
So
Howard, how's not having to pay taxes going there for you? Like
what brings in Howard? Is he here or not? Come on.
Howard is.
I have no idea what his purpose is.
He's calling himself donning armor, and he's here. The
Yeah, state your purpose.
Yes,
Brian,
Jake.
we got to have
JD.
something that we do when we have guests like this, like some sort of party favors. But what's going on, Howard?
Yes.
I have a very bad connection. My main internet went down.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's convenient.
And
That's
you're supposed to
convenient,
work
every-
with computers, and you can't bypass that.
I think, and Thailand probably has internet that's 100 times faster than we have here.
Right.
Yep, this is not.
I
working.
I call bullshit. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that bad word. Oh, he left. Oh,
He
well.
did leave, and
Yeah.
hey, I don't hold a grudge against anybody. I was pissed off for a while because I thought things got a little out of hand, and
Oh, because are you talking about when you got the what for about racism?
no, I don't care about that.
Oh, what do you?
I'm talking about Howard, Uncle Maury, with his behavior. Oh, what for about racism? Okay, so what? I don't really care. But when I get to what, like when somebody, kind of strong arms me, and it's my fault for going for it to a degree. So, but it's like
I don't know, man. Are you a masochist?
All right,
sometimes,
Sometimes?
yeah.
Really?
workable.
Whoa.
I think Howard's
Okay.
afraid. He's afraid of Mandy and Dennis.
Howard's a coward. Howard's a coward, man. I labeled him that fucking
I
many
thought
years.
his suicide prevention lines lighting up comment was quite funny. I giggled at that.
Yeah, well, let them all call in. Maybe I can help someone if they need to commit suicide.
No, I mean, like, I think he was referring to the fact that they're calling the suicide prevention lines because they're listening to your show.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're asking someone to help them step off the ledge because they're like, this shit is terrible.
yes.
Just give him that
Probably.
extra push. Just give him that extra nudge. You know?
Try to fly like Superman. You can fucking do it.
So are you encouraging suicide then, Brian?
I'm
He
saying.
helps out.
I'm
He just helps
saying.
him out.
I'm saying that.
I'm just trying to help Howard in reporting this show. So are you like encouraging
Oh.
suicide at that point by saying fly like Superman out of a window?
No, it's a joke, but
Okay.
I personally sometimes believe that, like, I mean, I do believe in assisted suicide, like terminal illness and stuff like that. I mean, I can talk about that.
Well, you would help him, Brian. You would help him though.
Well, there are some people
would
that,
you
you know,
put the-
come on now. They just need to be pushed in front of
No.
a bus.
Maybe.
Yeah, Brian. Would
No,
you
it's
give
not
him
a
the
maybe,
bullet?
it's bad.
What's
Would you
that?
give him the bullet and the gun? Sorry.
Dude, give me a break. Give me
Oh, no. No, Mandy. What were you saying, Mandy?
I would
Did
never
you
do that because that
accidentally
would get me in
push
trouble.
him in front of a bus? What?
What?
It's an accident. What?
What are you mumbling?
What are you mumbling about, Denny Pooh? Well,
I forgot.
oh, okay. You can forget all you want, and you can remember what you want as well.
Okay, thank you.
But there are people, like I said, that who I thought were pretty funny beforehand, but weren't funny. Who called in? Who didn't call into my show? Who came onto my show, Rocknet, and
Well, what did you get?
they were funnier in the past than they are now, perhaps.
Did you talk to Dolan Gooby offline at all or no?
No, I didn't.
So he found the show and called in?
Yeah, he came in.
So you brought a stranger on.
Dude, everyone here for me is except for Joe, is a fucking stranger. I don't know anybody here, like in person.
Oh.
I do.
Yeah, well, that's
We should have known Dennis.
You're
I was
very
gonna say, I
trusting.
know people here in person.
Yeah, you're very trusting, Brian. You're a very trusting person. Maybe naive a little bit.
Well, they're coming. Here's the thing: they're coming onto my show. They're not coming into my house. They're not borrowing money from me. So yeah, I'm kind of trusting. I'll let people in if they're just going to talk to me. If they want to borrow money or take my bank account, You know, nowadays though, some people, if they really don't like what you say or do online, they will attack you and hurt you. There are some vindictive people out there
There sure are.
who are very vicious,
Yes.
and basically, social media has shown not the kindness of people, but really, it's more shown the vindictive nastiness of a lot of people.
I think we just need to have more parties.
Probably more parties and more brutal honesty. Let's get out there and smack it around and smash it around. It's good for you.
Yeah, but you say that, but then you sit back and you bitch and complain about how people pull the rug out from underneath you whenever they are brutally honest to you. You get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And then you
Well,
bitch and complain, and then you sit there and encourage brutal honesty. It's like, which way is it?
well, I mean, you were
Yeah.
brutally. You know what? I appreciate your brutal honesty more than being fake. I appreciate a person's brutal honesty more than being fake.
Oh, 100%.
You know. Okay. You know what,
100%. I
Brian?
agree
You know
with you
what?
on that, Brian.
Shut up, Dennis.
You know what, Brian?
Please.
Yeah, Brian. What I try to do is I won't be
Where
totally
does the
straight up
shut up
honest
Dennis
with
not
somebody.
compute?
Just a moment, please. Is I can't tell them how I really feel about them because I don't want to hurt their feelings. But when it comes to a point where I'll just tell them flat out and they get hurt because I'll know they get hurt. When I give them my opinion, it's only my truth. It's not.
Well, here's
you know,
here's the deal. And
everybody.
if you don't
All
mind,
right.
okay, let
Yeah, go.
me and Mandy
Go.
were talking and we were having a conversation, and you kind
Right.
of
Continue.
listen. Shut the please,
Continue.
please.
Please
Shut
stop.
your,
Stop.
shut your hole.
Yes, I
shut your
will.
hole for a minute.
Shut it.
Okay.
I'll
When
mute
you
myself.
present,
I'll mute
shut
myself.
up. You shut up for a minute. Will you shut up for a
Why
minute?
don't you just do it,
Okay,
Dennis,
I'll do.
instead of telling us what you're going to do? How about you just do it? That would work out perfectly.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Well, okay. Okay. One of the things is when people, are tolerant, and then all of a sudden, not so tolerant. It's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of personality that I saw, and that's like it's not consistent. So it does kind of pull the rug. I mean, people can tell me how they feel from the beginning, but like when you have a relationship and they're tolerant, and then one day they're tolerant and the next day they're not. That's not. That's being confusing.
No, I think it's just a lot of people have high tolerance for the stupidity of others that they get to a point where they just kind of break, and they get to a point where it's like, shut the fuck up. I know you don't like cussing and all that nonsense on here, but you get to that point to where it's like, just shut up. Like, stop breathing, jump out of a window, just go. Right. But like, that's the problem that some people come across, is that they feel like, oh, well, you were always so tolerant of my behavior. But yeah, you get to a breaking point where it's like you're tired of that nonsense.
So my behavior broke you?
No, I just thought it was really stupid, a lot of what you were trying to say. And then all I did was turn around what it was that you were saying. And it was like your whole view of it was completely diluted, because you're just like, well, that's not what I'm saying. And it's just like, it is what you're saying. It's just not the direction you want to go with it. I was trying to get you to see that perspective from a different view, but you were so stuck in your own, which granted, you have every right to be stuck in that view.
Well, I could say the same about you.
Oh, 100%. And you're right, because I have every right to feel and think how I think, and you have every right to feel and think how you think.
Sure, yeah. That's
Because you can listen back. I don't think I ever said anything about you being wrong. I just said, I just think that's dumb that you think that way. But hey, not everyone is up to my level a lot of the time. It's not your fault.
well. I mean, the thing is, I've heard listen. I've heard that when we talked, the things that you said, I've heard it before. In
I
my
know. And the things that you said, I've heard it before too, from men of your age, of your race. It's just repeated nonsense.
that's yeah. I mean, I guess we both have heard.
It's regurgitated information. Basically, all it is just regurgitated nonsense, really.
Well, so
At the end of the
I could
day.
say the same for you.
Exactly. And I'm not telling you that you're wrong.
Yeah. There you go.
Pressing it for a long time, Brian. You have been observing these issues probably since you were very young. Do you remember as a child even thinking this way, or is this something that you
Well,
as an
the
adult.
first time that it really came aware of me was when I was in junior high. I got in a fight with a kid, and he wasn't of my race, and the recess bell rang, and all of a sudden I got ambushed and converged on, and I said, like one group can have in-group preference when there is a fight, and it was because of my race, and I kind of realized that, and then things like later on, I observed things like I remember the Tawana Brawley case really did it for me on the civil rights issue for me. Uh, that I mean, and it's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. I see the same kind of hyperbolic language that I saw and heard then that I see today. Only this time it's worse because the establishment is behind that, and I believe it's very
Brian.
dangerous. Shut up! I'm in the middle of talking, Howard. Come on now.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
No,
Dennis.
okay, go ahead.
And then you can say, but I see the same things that I saw in '87 and '89 with the whole Tawana Brawley case that I see today. And yeah, what's her face is gone. I guess she doesn't like what I say, so but that's just my belief.
She's okay with it.
All right, Brian. It's mob mentality. All right, and mobs generally are grouped together in races, right? And do you judge a whole race on mob mentality of that specific race, even though that mob might be 1% of that race?
No,
And then all the yes, you do. Seems so you do. Because yeah, because listen, I I was in high school to myself, and there were Indian people, general people, whatever, and they were picked on, bullied, harassed, beat up, and I stepped in and quote unquote back in the day, white knighting or whatever, sticking up for this dude, all right, and other individuals that were hated upon, all right, because of their color of their skin. And yeah, so do I like if Donning Armor is here, do I hate all the white people because they beat
okay.
up on like the
I'm not going to. Donning Armor is not here, and I'm not going to defend him. I'm just going to tell
right, okay, yeah,
you.
yeah.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you my perspective, and then you can.
Yes,
And then anyone else
please,
can respond. Let me tell you. Just I don't mean to cut you
yeah,
off,
please.
but you asked me a question. Let me respond to that.
Yes.
I don't, have animosity or anything else against an entire race. I do, however, have notice pattern recognition. I value my safety and my well-being, both my emotional and physical well-being as a human being, and I'm going to go where I'm treated well, where I'm most likely to be treated well, and where my physical and emotional well-being are best taken care of. And
What? Okay. What if you're in
He's
South
describing
Africa?
a
No.
strip
What if?
club, Dennis. Okay,
Yeah. No.
basically
What
that's
if you're
what
in the
he's
middle of?
describing.
what's that?
Okay.
I'm just trying to help Dennis understand what it is that you just said. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I put it down to Dennis level, which was you were describing that of a strip club. You know,
There we go.
Yeah.
Now,
Where you're
what do you think of the
comfortable,
bird? What
where
do you think of the
people
bird?
actually like you and you feel comfortable there.
Well,
Right.
I mean, people like me wherever. I mean, some people,
Mhm.
I'm pretty easy to get along with, and when people see me, they do kind of like me, and I do get along with a lot of people. And
Are you a judgmental person? Do you judge people before you um, want to get to know them,
sometimes
or
for my
when?
for
Right.
it depends. It depends on the circumstance.
What if they wanted to share with you what they're about? Would you be judgmental after they met? They told you they're
I'd like to
like
think for the most part I could do that, but it depends on the type of day. Because sometimes I'm not necessarily, open. Most of the time I am, I believe. But you know what? People may see me as different, and that's fine. I love the bird, by the way.
All right. See, being stoic, what I find I try to be stoic myself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Is I cannot hold judgment. I cannot judge others. Because it can only respect for who they are and what they do and what they do, how they do it, why they do it.
Hmm.
All right. And that's all. I cannot judge other people. All right. Because I might get emotional. All right. And that's what I find a lot going around with, like, in general, humans get so emotionally wrapped up, like you, America. Okay, fuck, here we go. Sorry about that word. With your politics. Oh, you're red or you're blue, or you're Republican or Democrat. Oh, I hate you for that, and I hate you for this. Blah 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 blah. Blah. So, oh yeah, and Brian, I got
Yes.
another question. Yeah, how about where does religion play into this? With the like because apparently there's a division in your U.S. government of religion and the science end of things, from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You know what? I'm not really sure. I
Well,
mean,
here in America, at least, I would say that the disconnect between church and state is the exact same as the difference between um, state and county levels.
Uh,
It works.
I've heard this before. Sorry.
No, it's just. I think that's just how it kind of breaks down. But Brian, Dennis is just babbling. All right. Hey, girl.
you know what? I'm sorry. I had to take. Hold on. I had to take off for a bit because I just had to find a pen. But go ahead, continue.
Take the show to the next level, but it's just I'm not sure where else we can go. Does anybody have any questions for Brian? No, I can't answer any.
Yeah, I got a question for Brian, seeing that everything else has gone off the rails. Brian, what are you doing for your diabetes, Brian? How's your blood
I
sugar,
am eating healthy.
Brian?
I have not fasted in a while, but I think one of the things I would like to do is
You were talking about maybe getting into some more like health related shows.
more health related stuff and just tackling both mental and physical health. And some of the, I think one of the things I would like to do is just, instead of, some of the reliance on, like certain types of medication, what are the best, like for example, ADHD, are there any over the counter vitamins and things that you can take for that?
That's
And
good. That's a good topic.
I have heard, and I'd like to do a show on this maybe at some point, but one of the best medications out there, natural medications being used to fight things like addiction to um, amphetamines, methamphetamines, heroin, all these other, these junky things. But ibogaine is kind of picking up. Very few people use it.
What is that? Yeah, what is that?
Like it's a bark, comes from a tree up near where your mama lives, and yeah, the ibogaine. No, I think it's from maybe rainforests, or I don't know. I don't know where to find it exactly, but ibogaine is. Hey, what's up? That is supposedly, I think that might be something you might want to look into, Brian. I've heard it from anything from diabetes all the way through to nicotine and all these other crazy addictions. Ibogaine is something I'd like to cover. Maybe even
Yeah, what does it do? Does it flush your system, or is it like, what is it?
I think it does
do.
have that purging thing. I think
Yeah.
for people who are looking just to kind of do like a little trip or something, I've heard it's not effective. But
Yeah, it's not like ayahuasca or nothing. This is like total
I wouldn't say
health wise for your
it's not
body.
too different from the ayahuasca, but it is different.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't really fall into this to any groups, Angela. I think you're pathetic. I think you will hang on to any detail you think you know about somebody, and you'll just use it to try to give you some sort of advantage. But I think you're crazy. I think you're nuts, and I think you're always out in left field. All right, let's
I thought Angela was always in center field or the dugout. I
totally.
never knew. Yeah. But that seems interesting. What is this Gaeton or Kraton or something that people use to help
So
with their anxiety? Huh?
iboga is far stronger and far more effective, apparently. But yeah, the thing with kratom is so a lot of people, we had this whole kind of epidemic with opioids, and opioids affect your central nervous system. That's why the kind of the whatever it is, the withdrawals, the come downs are so frigging nasty. You hear it over and over again. People would rather die than go through that. So something like kratom and kratom helps kind of helps the being able to sleep during like a withdrawal process, and kind of helps the muscles recuperate from that sort of thing. It fakes your opioid receptors into thinking that it's getting a dose of some opioid, but it's just a leaf. So
Yeah, but I hear that you're gonna get addicted, like on that. Is that true?
that's the system now is for like methadone and the other alternatives for some of the opioids is really just exchanging the street drug for a longer lasting non street drug, and
Yeah.
I've heard those are even in some ways worse than the
Yeah. Like why did doctors even prescribe methadone? Right? It's like I hear sorry?
I think it's on the way out. Yeah, I don't think methadone is going to be around much longer because of it's just another ploy by the pharmaceutical industry to keep
Yeah.
people into their
Habit. See, that way the pharmaceuticals can get the methadone cash without losing money with other addicts buying off the street black market heroin, right? You know, seems pretty like a scam to me. Sorry, you know.
low level thinker without morals.
Is that me?
Oh,
Are you talking about Angela? What are you talking about?
who has no morals?
Angela's been bitter lately. She's just a bitter woman.
Bitter woman. Angela. Okay, you know what? Okay, Angela, call in because I have a few words to mention to you, if you don't mind.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, we're just talking about okay. We're talking about mental health. No, we weren't, but I was going to get into that. And the use of scripted drugs as compared to street drugs. And which would you trust? Hey, JP, this is a good one. My pain doctor, who scripted me my green, said, Dennis, why don't you try some mushrooms? One treatment every 6 months.
Okay.
It's covered under my insurance. Union paid for it. Everything. And I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to make you forget about your pain." I said, "Really?"
Okay.
I said, "No."
Check out Iboga. One thing it does is,
Uh,
we'll take it, and what it does is on a biological internal level, it goes and scrubs the receptors clean. I've heard it's such a good rebooting of the body.
that sounds scary. That sounds scary to me.
You sound like Joe Rogan.
Hey, listen. If my receptors, my axons, if my axons and neurons had any more connection, yeah, I'd be more nuts than I am already. All right. So I appreciate that suggestion, though, JP. I'm like a rusty 50-gallon barrel. More rustier I get, the easier I work with.
Yeah, but go searching for the cure. Don't look for remedies. That's
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's more complicated than that, but we should definitely all trip Datura together.
That might be a good
hey,
idea.
Howard, have you ever seen the movie Lucy? What percentage of the brain do you actually think
Howard's
you
not here.
actually use?
Howard's not
Oh,
here.
who was that? Who was
Donnie.
it?
That's
Is that Dawning?
That is
Oh, Dawning?
It's your best friend, donning armor.
Oh, my best friend? Yeah, okay.
And we
What
we use 100% of our brain.
no, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Not the efficiency that it should be used in. A lot of people are stupid. They don't have the capacity or the ability. They have the capacity, but they don't have the ability to access 100%. Because, left brain, right brain, they don't really communicate very well together. Right.
Yeah, but what
Like,
you're mistaking is you're thinking that our frontal cortex
frontal lobe. Yeah. Yeah.
is
It's
it's
working.
devoted towards the rational thinking, logical part of the brain, and the rest of the brain is devoted to other functions like
Yeah.
motor functions.
Memory. Right. Now, at the same time, remember the hypothalamus, right? That basically connects to the left, right, enable for it to send those messages through pineal, all right, into the frontal cortex, right, and able to bring that together, right. A lot of that is not really active in a lot of humans, guy. From my understanding,
That may be the
there's a
case,
lack of.
but
Yeah,
I
that may
just
be the case.
refuse to accept the notion that we don't use all of our brain. If we didn't use it, it wouldn't be there because natural selection would have gotten rid of it.
Of course, we use our brain. We just use what we need. See, from my understanding, when you kill a lot of your brain cells, if you're doing drugs or a lot of alcohol abuse or whatever like that, your brain has to rewire, um, and rewire through the freaking damn stupid axons and neurons and all the rest of that stuff, and to figure out other areas of the brain to utilize if they're available, to bring you back into some kind of like state of or understanding and rationality, right? And yeah, that's when we access other parts of our brain. Otherwise, we just use the ones that we regularly use, right? You know, like I think it's pretty simple.
I suppose there is truth in what you said, yeah, but we still use 100% of it, if inefficiently, as I do on many occasions.
98.5% of the population uses their brain inefficiently. Humans.
I think
They have no
it
access.
sounds kind of, to me, it sounds oversimplified. I mean, and to get to the drug thing, I I do not like the pharmaceutical companies, and to a large extent, I do not like doctors. Um, but I trust their opinion over others for the most part. There's good doctors, bad doctors. I think that illegal drugs are a, a more, well, holistic approach. And I think that the problem is that we corrupt the drugs. So rather than chewing on coca leaves, you're going to
Mhm.
be sorting lines of concentrated cocaine or
Donnie. Hmm.
this.
Donnie. Yeah. Okay, I gotta flip out of here in a minute. But if a doctor was to tell you, don't put your hand on the stove, you'll get burnt. Right? The doctor's orders. Don't put your hand on the stove. And you do anyway. Right? Should you follow the doctor's orders or should you try to like find out yourself what's gonna happen if I don't follow doctor's orders? Or am I just gonna die because um I didn't follow doctor's
Your
orders?
mommy or daddy that tells you not to put your hand on the stove, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
the
I'm trying to
instructions.
keep it simple. I'm trying to keep it simple here. All right.
So you're saying learn by experience rather than trusting anyone, or
Pretty well much. That's the way I
okay,
live.
yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, I think that you're right, but then to another extent, I think that we should take the advice and wisdom of those that are either experts in a field,
Mhm.
professionals, or
Yeah.
have simply just more wisdom through learning themselves. But yeah,
Right. Right. See, yeah. See, I'm a rebel by birth, right? And I don't go by rules, and nobody tells me what to do. They try to, but I only answer, sir. I only answer to one person. Well, besides God, one person is the judge. All right, it doesn't matter what judge I have to face, but yeah, whatever he says, I have to go by because I don't go by doctors, I don't go by
Guys,
cops, I don't go by laws.
hey, real quick,
What?
I hate to interrupt you. Hey, Joey, I got to get going. If you want to keep the show going, you can do that.
You can end it. We're at about an hour. Let's end it. And if I want to do another one, I might do another one
So
later.
Joe might do another one. This is going to end the show. Anything to say before I end the show?
It's going to end, Brian. I
I-
did not
hey,
think
hey
because
guys,
great people keep calling in.
yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Visit our Rumble page. I put that on the description thing, and also visit our web transcendencyandmerit.com. Thank you very much for listening, even those who hate it. No hard feelings. Thank you very much.
Listen to the remixes.
Yes.